Hey everyone, Jake here from SuperStroke, and I'm going to show you today how to use your SuperStroke regrip kit to regrip your putter grip at home. So you may have just picked up a new Energy putter grip and you're wondering, I don't really want to pay somebody else to do this for me. It seems pretty easy. It is pretty easy. So all you're going to need to do is pick up a regrip kit from SuperStroke, and in that kit you're going to get a shaft clamp, you're going to get some tape, and then you're also going to get some solvent. So it's nice pre-packaged. So the only things that you'll need outside of that kit are going to be a good bench vise on a good bench or any other sort of clamping device. You're also going to need some old towels, are very handy, as well as the new grip that you want to put on. So I've got an old Mizuno that I'm going to give some new life to here. I'm putting a Energy Flat Sew 1.0 on it. And then a heat source is also very helpful. We'll get to that in a second. And then almost most importantly is your hook blade. So the hook blade is going to be the safest way to take your old grip off, then we can get the new grip on. So we're going to take that hook blade and laying your hook blade flat against the shaft so that we don't cause any scratching, we're just going to insert it into the butt end of the grip here, and then with our thumb guiding it away from our body, we're just going to give one good cut all the way through that grip. And then you may need to use the end of that hook blade just to peel it off a little bit, and then we should be able to just peel this old putter grip off. So you can see that one did a pretty good job on that cut. I only have a little bit of tape left on here. There's a couple bits left here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my heat source. I'm using a torch. You can use a heat gun. You can use a little butane torch. You can use a hair dryer. Whatever works. It just needs a little bit of heat. So all I'm going to do is just heat that shaft up just a little bit so I can get some of these last remnants of tape off. Turn that heat source off, of course. And then I'm just going to take my old towel here and I'm just going to rub some of that residue off. If you have some bigger strips of tape, just go ahead and peel those off with your fingers. And then make sure that you give yourself a nice clean surface here to apply our grip tape. So the next step is going to be to take the shaft clamp that came in your kit, throw it around the shaft. I like to go as high up as possible without interfering with our putter grip. So just give yourself a quick measure there. All right, and then we're going to put this in our shaft, or in our vise. When we do this, this shaft clamp specifically has these little collars on the top, and it's going to help you place that shaft clamp in your vise perfectly. So just let those collars sit on top of the vise jaws and then wrench that baby down. Make sure before you give it its final wrench that you're lining up your putter so that it's square in the vise. This will help make sure that our grip is on square when we put it down, and give that a good final wrench. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to take one of our strips of tape that are supplied in the regrip kit, and I like to just right away just peel both of these pieces of backing off of the tape and leave yourself with the really smooth side of tape, and then just putting the edge of the tape on and overhanging the end of the grip by about 1/8 of an inch. Go ahead and just put the edge on and then smooth that down real nicely. And then from there you can take your backing off, and then I like to reach around the shaft and then pull my tape up real tight to the top, and then let that overhang. Go ahead and smooth out any of those wrinkles. If you have a small enough putter grip, this is more important for swing grips, but if you have a small enough putter grip, you will feel those wrinkles in the tape. So make sure that you just smooth that out as much as you can. That way our putter grip goes on perfectly and it has the best feel possible. And then what's overhanging on the end of the shaft, just go ahead, tuck that in to the back of the shaft, and now we're ready for some solvent. So we're going to take our provided bottle of solvent, and I like to be pretty liberal with this. I'm not super worried about saving all of this solvent. All right, especially for putter grips. Putter grips are a little bit harder to put on than a swing grip is, for example. And then covering the end cap of your putter grip, go ahead, and again, I like to be just real nice, liberal. Get the inside of that putter grip real coated, and take that solvent, slosh it around there in your putter grip, give it a couple waves, and then let that excess drip back onto the shaft here. And now in one firm motion, we're going to get this started on the end of the shaft. I'm actually going to give myself a little bit of a cheat code here. We're gonna get this started on the end of the shaft and then give it one good heave onto the putter, making sure that it stays square. So we're gonna go up and then one good heave, just like that. Make sure that we're nice and aligned. And then real quick, we're gonna take this out of our vise. We're gonna give ourselves a little alignment check just on the ground. You can kind of use your feet, line her up. Make sure that we're nice and square, how our eyes want to see it. And then I like to, just for good measure, give it a couple little taps just to make sure it's absolutely seated. Take your shaft clamp off, and then you're gonna wanna let this dry for about half an hour before you go out and use it, especially if you're putting it in and out of a bag, something like that. And that's it. You've now regripped your putter at home, and you can do some of your buddies. You got some leftover tape, or you can do a set of swing grips. You got plenty of solvent left in here, and then this shaft clamp, obviously, you can use forever. So thanks for joining us today. Stay tuned for more content, guys. Welcome to SuperStroke.